Feeling tired of your job? Or maybe wishing you made more money? Would you be willing to face your biggest fears just to earn a paycheck? Or are you not willing to take that risk? Believe it or not, many workers out there deal with some of our biggest fears every day. A lot of the time, these workers are even putting their lives at risk just to get their job done. That's how frightening these jobs are. From studying dangerous diseases, to diving into contaminated waters, to climbing skyscrapers, these workers will risk their health, safety, and even their lives just for a paycheck. So whether you're looking for a new job or trying to find out which ones to avoid, we have compiled a list of the most terrifying jobs that could cost you your life. Keep watching to learn about the 10 most terrifying and life-threatening jobs in the world. Interact with us. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be notified when we upload more content. Don't forget to leave a like and comment below. Also, feel free to suggest any type of videos you would like to see on this channel. Thanks! Number 1. Steeplejacks. Steeplejacks are repairmen that specialize in working on the top of very tall buildings. This wouldn't be a good job for someone afraid of heights because steeplejacks use high ladders, scaffolds, and platforms to climb to the top of skyscrapers, church spires, cathedral domes, and industrial chimneys. Steeplejacks do repairs to these buildings, such as installing lighting, touching up the paint of a building, or replacing roof glass. These workers can also do inspections in order to determine and assess any damage that has been done to a building structure. Steeplejacks must be able to suggest solutions to fix the damage, so a significant amount of knowledge and understanding of the craft is required. Although getting a job as a steeplejack does not require a college degree, it does require some specialized knowledge. Some jobs will train new employees, while others prefer those who have already gone through an apprenticeship. Either way, for the amount of risk that they face, steeplejack jobs typically pay surprisingly low wages at around $33,000 per year. Number 2. Alaskan crab fishermen. It was determined in studies by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics and the U.S. National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health that Alaskan crab fishing is the most dangerous job in the United States. 37 crab fishermen died between the years of 2003 and 2009. That may not seem like a lot of fishermen, but when you think about how uncommon fishing is as a career, it seems like a lot more. Mortality rates for Alaskan crab fishermen are as high as 26 times or 80% higher than that of an average worker. Alaska crab fishermen have to deal with cramped quarters, going days without showers, working up to 48-hour shifts, freezing temperatures, pelting rain, and hauling up nets or cages that weigh up to several hundred pounds. Most deaths are caused by being thrown overboard or drowning due to the rough seas. Getting caught in one of the nets or cages is another way to lose your life as an Alaskan crab fisherman. There are also some crab fishermen that have died due to hypothermia-related complications. Number 3. Field epidemiologists. When there is an outbreak of a new disease, epidemiologists get to work to figure out why the disease is occurring, what can be done to help those affected, and how to stop it from spreading further. Some epidemiologists work in labs, crunch numbers, or conduct interviews with those affected with the disease. Field epidemiologists are the epidemiologists on the front lines. These scientists are sent to the area where the outbreak started or where there is a concentration of it to collect blood and tissue samples from people. These samples are then used to study the disease. Field epidemiologists often use special protections such as masks and gloves or even hazmat suits if the disease is especially contagious. But they are still very susceptible to becoming sick themselves. Becoming an epidemiologist does require at least a master's degree, but they make a great salary, which can be nearly $70,000. Field epidemiologists can be hired by federal agencies like the CDC or also by state or local level governments. Number 4. Bomb squad technician. Whenever there is a bomb threat, bomb technicians are needed on the scene. Of course, the main job of a bomb technician is to dismantle highly hazardous explosives and ensure the safety of nearby people by defusing the explosives or doing a controlled detonation. However, bomb technicians are also crucially important in determining if bomb threats are legitimate, evacuating bystanders, and safely disposing of the remnants of the explosives. Of course, bomb squad technicians are decked out in ultra-heavy heavy-duty armor that is plated with Kevlar and steel to protect them. However, the potential risks the bomb technicians face are still very obvious and life-threatening. Becoming a bomb squad technician can take up to 10 months of very specialized training, including learning how to deal with different types of bomb threats and building teamwork skills with other bomb technicians. Because of the specialized knowledge and high risk, these workers can make over $60,000 annually, although some bomb squad technicians can be volunteers. Number 5. Entomologists. Entomologists are scientists that deal with everything creepy crawly. That's right, they deal with all sorts of bugs from cockroaches to butterflies. Some entomologists study bugs to learn more about the characteristics of them and the roles that they have in their ecosystems. Some entomologists study how bugs can spread disease or even be used in medicines. These medical entomologists have a bit more risk of potentially getting sick than plain old entomologists. However, the most dangerous route that an entomologist can take is to go into forensic entomology. Forensic entomologists use their knowledge of bugs in examining dead bodies for crime-related legal cases. The bugs present in a corpse can help determine the time of death, cause of death, whether the body has been moved to another location after death, and various other pieces of information that can be used as evidence in an investigation. Like field epidemiologists, entomologists have a high risk of being exposed to illness. Additionally, dealing with the beetles, flies, and maggots inside a dead body is not for the weak of heart. Number 6. Herpetologists. If dealing with bugs isn't your thing, maybe you'd be more interested in herpetology. Don't let the strange name throw you off. Herpetologists actually work with all sorts of amphibians and reptiles. Herpetologists study snakes, lizards, crocodiles, frogs, and newts, among other animals, to learn about their anatomy, behavior, genetics, reproductive practices, and more. Some herpetologists work in labs, but much of their work is done out in the field in the animals' natural habitats. In the field, it is easier to detect how an animal is affected by disease, invasive species, or pollution. However, these things can be dangerous for herpetologists in the field. It is not a controlled environment, and herpetologists are much more susceptible to being bitten by animals, which may have deadly venom. Like entomology, this career path is not for everyone because dealing with snakes can be pretty scary. However, this job, which requires at minimum a bachelor's degree in biology or ecology, can pay over $60,000 annually. Number 7. High-rise window washers. Another job that is not ideal for people afraid of heights is the high-rise window washer. You've probably seen window washers at work, high up on a skyscraper. Just thinking of being up that high is enough to make your skin crawl, but these window washers seriously have to contend with the possibility of falling to death while at work every day. High-rise window washing requires very specific training, and some jobs even require a special certification. Besides knowing how to wash windows, these workers must be well-versed in safety protocols. Before every job, the high-rise window washers must assess the building and create a rescue plan in case of emergencies. Despite their very risky and life-threatening job, high-rise window washers usually make less than $30,000 per year. Number 8. Miners. Mining is one of the oldest industries in the world, but it may also be one of the most dangerous. On average, 50 to 60 miners die every year in America alone. You probably remember the Chilean miner disaster from 2010. And while that luckily had a happy ending, lots of miners do not have such a good fate. On top of working long hours in tight spaces doing difficult physical labor, miners have to worry about cave-ins, gas explosions, vehicle or equipment crushings, chemical leaks and electrocution, and dangerous substances from carbon monoxide to methane gas. This is all while they are many miles under the ground where they can't easily evacuate if something goes wrong. Of course, miners have protection like hard hats and emergency breathing devices, which they wear at all times, but even those can only go so far. Even if miners are not killed or injured on the job, they still tend to have significantly shorter life expectancies due to prolonged exposure to industrial air pollution. Number 9. Rodeo clowns. Rodeo clowns are not just comedic performers that add to the spectacle of the rodeo, but they also perform an essential function called bullfighting. Essentially, the rodeo clown must distract the bulls and lure them away from bucked-off bull riders so that the riders have time to get away and are not trampled. Once they have distracted the bull by yelling or throwing hats at the bull, the rodeo clowns must avoid the bull themselves by jumping over the arena's fence, hiding behind a barrel, or standing close to the bull's side so it is unable to charge until the bull has calmed down and can be wrangled out of the arena. Rodeo clowns used to learn on the job, but now there are rodeo schools that teach bullfighting skills. Rodeo clowns typically make $100 to $500 per gig, but if a clown is very popular or working a particularly big show, they can make up to $2,000. Number 10. Police divers. Police divers wear scuba gear in order to search waters for missing objects in investigations. These divers dig up poorly disposed of murder weapons, drugs that were abandoned during smuggling, stolen items, explosives, and even the dead bodies of people who have committed suicide, been murdered, or drowned accidentally. On top of diving for some unsavory items, police divers have to deal with unfavorable and sometimes dangerous working conditions such as cold, murky, contaminated, or polluted water in the lakes, rivers, canals, sewers, and cesspits that they dive in. Police divers have to follow strict protocols and have medics nearby to ensure their safety. Police divers not only need to be skilled scuba divers, but they also need specialized training in underwater crime scene photography, evidence preservation, and the recovery of bodies, vehicles, and planes. Other than that special training, only a high school diploma is required for this job, and police divers can make a salary of up to $63,000 every year. Feeling creeped out by these terrifying and dangerous careers? Most people go their whole lives without facing their biggest fears, but these workers perform death-defying feats every day, like sailing out on choppy, freezing water just to go fishing, or getting the attention of a raging bull just for a few $100s. Which one of these jobs scared you the most? Or would you be brave enough to take on one of these dangerous jobs? Join the conversation and let us know your thoughts in the comments below.